7 hours driving on the highway. Far away, far away, far away. Every moment I was spending on regrets was such a waste, such a waste, such a waste. Looking on the city lights, flashing bright in my eyes. Look up to the sky and I got this relief inside. Then there's no need to hide. I'm going all the way up. Ah, I'm going all the way up. Ah, I'm letting go in my heart. Ah, of everything that holds me down. No, no. And I'm feeling like I've been enough. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me. Oh, I need to know how I can make it. Not afraid to go. And where I should be.
They say fortune favors the bold. So what are you waiting for? The right time? The right sign? The right guide? The thing is, movement maker, you were never meant to follow anyone else. You were destined for something bolder and braver and truer, and you know it. It's time for you to write your own damn permission slip. You have permission to dream big, not that you need it from us. Fortune favors the bold. So, what are you waiting for?
I wasn't.
I gotta dance. We gotta start with the dancing.
The head dancing. It's like car dancing.
Yes. Hi, Jen.
Hi,
Welcome
Sally.
to the
Thank
Promotional
you.
Slip podcast live stream, where we like to sing randomly. All right.
I don't know anything about that kind of life.
I know. It's like, well, Jen's going to be here. We're going to sing. We're going to have multiple beverages.
Absolutely. Yes.
I only have 2 right now in front
I
of
only
me.
have 2 as well. They're just different water bottles.
Oh, yeah. This is a question that has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about, but it's a important question nonetheless.
Mhm.
How much water do you drink every day?
Oh, at least 18 cups. At least. I have at least 3 of these a day, and this is 6 cups. Probably more,
Dang.
but that's about it.
Oh, okay. I think we've talked about this, but as people, we've worked together a really long time.
Inquiring
Everyone,
minds
and
want to know.
yes, and when way back in the day when I was whatever, I wanted to be an actor. There was a point in my life where I was going to go be an actor, and I was in an MFA acting program and working with, vocal coaches and everybody on the skills of it. And I remember the vocal coach saying to me, if your pee isn't clear, get off the stage. And I was
Yeah, I've
like,
heard that.
whoa. So I tried for a while. I was like, and between every class, I was running to the bathroom. I'm like, this is not practical. This does not work for this body. So it'd be like, I'm going to go for mostly clear. That's the best I can do.
Amazing. I think my life as a former educator in elementary school, as an educator and administrator, you just figure out how to drink water and not go, because there's just hours where you cannot.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine. I really cannot imagine the level of self-sacrifice again and again that teachers and educators do just
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Well, welcome, Jenn Whitmer. Welcome. I
you.
am delighted to have you as an official member of the permission slip community. You were
I'm
there in December 2023.
I know. Do we get cards now? Like, can I be a card carrying member? Like, is there something official? That's always fun.
That's a great idea.
Got my card. Look at
Yes,
that.
you get a card. You get a card.
I'll take
I
it.
know. We go way back. We go way back pre-permission slip
Yes.
moments. And I know you deeply and well, but maybe people who are watching this have not met you yet. So give us the intro, Jenn Whitmer. Who are you? What do you do? Tell us
Goodness.
everything.
Well, what I do is I am a speaker and a consultant and just all around joy bringer. I am a mom of 4 kids from 14 to 21, and that we have 2 still at home, 2 are in college. I married my high school sweetheart. We are that story. And we've been married for almost 27 years. We live
Oh,
in St.
amazing.
Louis. And I started my career as an educator, as we just talked about. And then I experienced the best leader I've ever had, and then a change of leadership with a leader who was unskilled and unhealed, as I like to say. And that created a toxic work environment that just about destroyed me. I was in my
Mm,
dream job and that happened, and it was really awful. So
yeah.
from that, that was about 7 years ago, I started trying to figure out, well, what do I now want to be? I was going to be an educator. Like that's what I was
Mm,
going to do. I was going to go on to the next thing of education, which was teach pre-service teachers, go into the university level and help before you got into the classroom teachers. And
yeah.
I was like, I don't know that I can do that now. And so I'm not sure if you're
Mm,
listening live, if you've ever experienced that, where you're like, this is what I thought I was going to do with my life. And that's not what happened. So I started realizing that I had had this amazing culture. What created that and what created the culture that was so difficult? And that's when I went into there's a way to make this different. There is a way to change this. And I started speaking around conflict resolution and then moving into understanding yourself and realizing those are components of really creating a great culture at work. And all of those components are needed to create a positive culture by embracing the complexity of all the people that you work with, including yourself. So that's about me. That's what I do.
beautiful.
I do
Beautiful.
just want my life to be a musical, so that's why Sally was singing earlier.
We share that. We share that characteristic, the random singing
Yes,
characteristic of us as Enneagram sevens, because
that's right.
along with all working with organizations to help them, uh, they're complex people, they're real, challenging human people
Mm,
thrive and flourish and find more joy in
yeah,
this work that we
mhm,
do. Work, even the word
I know.
work, joy. These are seem
Mm,
kind of opposites.
but they are
So,
not.
but they
That's
are
the
not.
they are
And that
not.
is where
Mhm.
Jen comes in with her joy-filled necklace and says, "We can bring joy with us into work." And we are talking to from an audience perspective, we are talking to a lot of leaders and entrepreneurs, change
Mhm,
makers of all stripes. So whether or not you are within an organization, we still show up and sit at our computer
mm,
and go, okay, how am I going to approach this challenge or this obstacle or this task or this team or like, we are all in the process of how do we bring ourselves into our work with more joy in
yeah.
whatever context.
Mhm.
So you are filled with so much wisdom. So I know you said you left teaching, but Jen, you are still you bring that with you, the spirit of you as an educator and your deep knowledge and wisdom and insight with you when you serve people out front. And so I am I always learn something from our conversations, even though, I have uh, been the teacher for you for
Yep.
for many years, but you also teach me. So I'm really
Mhm.
excited to have you here. And
Oh,
here's where I
thanks.
would love to start. When people are not feeling joy at work, right? When they're just like they're facing whatever challenge it is, where do you start to
Mhm.
to figure out a new way?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, people get burned out, people are tired, people are disengaged, we're exhausted.
Yeah. So I want to back up a little bit because sometimes people conflate or mix up joy and happiness.
Mm,
And joy and happiness are two different things. I always think of happiness as the emotion, the fleeting energy that you feel, that is a feeling. That joy is a happiness is a component of joy, but joy is more foundational and long lasting. I have my own definition of joy because it is one of my core values as a human and as a business owner. And I think of joy as this sustaining purpose that is an overwhelming connection to something that is larger than yourself, something that is meaningful, and a sense of deep rooted happiness. That it is,
mm,
I don't feel happy every moment of every day. Nobody
yeah.
does. And we're not designed to live that way. We're not designed to live in this kind of cotton candy, hot air balloon space. We are designed to be really rooted. So when I think of joy, joy has roots that go
Mm,
very deep. And the part that I am constantly reminding myself of is that roots are formed in the dark. And
mm,
I don't love that, but that is a case of joy. So joy is very rooted. It is something that is connected, larger than yourself, and it is a sustainable space. So just to frame what we're
mm.
talking about, how do I know I'm not feeling joy?
Okay, you said something and I want to underline it. You said joy, it's a
Mhm.
sustaining idea. What did you say? You said it's a sustaining force, a
It's a
sustain.
sustaining force, yes.
Mm,
That's connecting you to something larger than yourself.
guess what? Guess what I'm doing?
Tell me.
Banner,
Look at you with
banner,
the banner. I'm super
banner.
impressed, Miss Producer.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
If people have watched a few of these, they're like, "Wow, every week she gets just a little bit better. She gets
Hey,
a little bit." That's how it works. We
as a
show up and
bravery expert, you show up anyway, right? That's what you taught.
you
That's what you
got
teach
you
us.
gotta give it a go. You gotta give
Yeah.
it a go and let go of the
Mhm.
ride. Life is
Yes.
just one big improv scene.
Mhm.
Joy is a sustaining
Amen.
force with deep roots, and roots are formed
In
in
the
the
dark.
dark.
Mm,
Ooh,
I know. I don't
okay,
love
as
it
an
either.
Enneagram 7, guess what? I don't like that.
As a fellow Enneagram 7, and if you've not heard of the Enneagram, it's a personality framework. Sally and I both are the same personality type. Doesn't mean we're the same human, but we
Yeah.
both share a deep avoidance of pain. Let's not do
Mm.
that. So, no, don't like it
Yeah,
either.
I really
Yeah.
yeah. Yep, I feel that.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
So
that's
back
an
to your
important backdrop.
Yes. So back to your original question, because I don't want people to think I'm supposed to be happy all the time or every moment of my work
Right,
should be enjoyable. That
right.
is not an indicator of joy. Or some people, I love this phrase of protecting your peace. I think there is a
Yeah,
component where we do need to protect ourselves from things that are harmful and
yeah,
sometimes things that are just hurtful. But I think
yeah.
we run from discomfort because we equate the absence of discomfort with happiness or joy, and that's not true. The way we grow in any way, shape, or form will always involve discomfort, absolutely every time. That's, one of my favorite phrases is, if that concentric circle. So there's a circle in the middle, with your comfort zone. And then you've got, it's just outside your comfort zone. I call that the magic zone. That's where you grow. by definition, it is not comfortable. I don't want to move you
Yeah.
out into panic,
Yeah.
but discomfort is okay. Where we know we're not experiencing joy at work, there are a few indicators. I won't call them yet red flags, but maybe warning flags. There are a few that are waving red flags you should always jump for, like, oh, this is a problem. But one of my favorite quotes is by a man named David Wright that says, the cure for exhaustion isn't rest, it's wholeheartedness. So when
Mm,
you're exhausted, the way to wholeheartedness and the way to joy is alignment with purpose. It's alignment
mm,
with, why am I even doing this? So if you
right.
don't understand why you do what you do, you will always lack joy.
Mm,
Because
mm,
purpose, we are designed as humans to understand purpose. I want my life to mean something. So
mm.
if you are a CPA working inside what I assume are spreadsheets, because clearly not a CPA in bookkeeper, like that is not what Jenn Whitmer knows. Why do you do those numbers? Why do you help people with
Mm,
their accounting? What does that do
mm,
for them? My bookkeeper, Daniel, is like a godsend to me. The amount of time
mm.
that he spends making sure those numbers are accurate and right to keep me out of fraud, to keep
Yeah.
me out of debt, to keep, like, those are
Mhm.
really important things to me.
Yeah.
And so you have to know why you're doing it.
Mm,
So exhaustion that doesn't feel good, like, not the I just spent my day doing something amazing and that good exhaustion, like in the summertime. Remember when you swam at the pool all day and you
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
flopped in front of the movie in the air conditioner? That's good exhaustion.
Right.
Exhaustion that you don't know how to recover from because you're like, what does this even matter?
Mm,
That's the bad exhaustion. That's not good. That is lacking purpose and wholeheartedness.
right.
Another red flag that you are not experiencing joy at work is this idea of, I can't keep doing this, which is a
Mm,
component of exhaustion. But there is
yeah.
this languishing of, I don't know how much
Mhm.
longer I can keep going.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is if you're asking that question, you're lacking some joy. That
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
it you can't do it anymore.
Yeah. So is that how you would define languishing? Is that
Mm.
I can't keep doing this? Sort of giving up?
A little bit.
Mm,
Languishing is that idea of like, I don't think I can keep doing this. Whereas
mm.
crisis is, you've pushed over into the edge of like, you need help. Like,
Yeah.
you need some real help. Crisis is something different, but languishing is like, I just don't think I can keep doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't see a way forward. I don't know how this is sustainable. I
Mm,
just can't keep doing this.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
a different place than just exhaustion. That's
Yeah.
another red flag.
Okay. So some really important red flags there, right? A lack of purpose, a lack of connecting
Mhm,
purpose to your work, feeling exhausted in a bad way, and getting to a point of languishing where you're like, I can't keep doing this. Right.
mhm.
Okay. So what does all of this, what does joy and finding more purpose and joy in your work have to do with our personalities?
Ooh.
And I know that this is a whole big thing, but
Mhm.
we were just talking about being an Enneagram 7 and avoiding pain, and Mike's here,
Mike's
and
like, "Yeah, sure."
yeah. Well,
He's feeling
yeah.
your pain,
Yeah.
as Jews
Uh,
do.
yes, 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 yes. So there's some Enneagram conversation happening around this, and it's connected. So
Mhm.
what's the connection you would make there for us?
Yeah. So to talk about personality, personality is the way that you see the world. That's the easiest way to describe it. It's not everything that you do, it's not your behavior, it's not your habits, it's the way you see the world. It's and the framework of the Enneagram shows us why we think, act, and feel that way. And so we're all avoiding something. Our personalities are trying to take care of us. They are really trying to protect us, make things go smoothly. And so we don't have to think about all the stuff. The problem is it uses shortcuts that usually end up getting us into trouble. And so when your personality is telling you to avoid pain, when actually we just talked about the idea of discomfort is the way forward into growth to get actually the joy that I want, that's how that connection is there. So for an Enneagram 2 who's listening, this idea of avoiding rejection, I don't want to be rejected, that would be the worst. The 2 has to recognize they have significance and they're worthy of their own needs in and of themselves. That's finding joy. For the 1, the Enneagram 1 is knowing, they're avoiding being bad or wrong. And so they have to be perfect, and finding joy in the fact that life is not perfect. So every time I'm saying something, each one of these types is like, but no, that's the worst thing. And so finding joy is actually reminding yourself of the truest part of you, not letting your personality, as I like to say, be like Dwight driving the work bus, like out of control. You don't want your personality running that show. You get to say, actually, this is what is true. And that is the way to joy.
Mm. Yeah. So there's something really powerful underneath this, which is when we can really show up fully as
Mhm.
our, authentic selves. And I always like to pull apart authenticity for people, because when I work with speakers, they're like, "Well, I just want to be authentic about it."
Mhm.
Sometimes what they're saying is, "I just want to stay comfortable, and I
Mm.
don't want to if this is too hard or uncomfortable, it doesn't feel authentic to me." And actually those two things are not at all connected.
Totally.
Oftentimes the most authentic thing is the most uncomfortable thing.
Mhm.
And so, like disentangling those pieces together. So when we say like showing up fully, it means you're going to show up um, with the deep, dark roots of joy, not
Yeah.
just, I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
fine. Enneagram 7 is fine. We're just going to
It's
keep it
fine.
up
Everything's
here.
fine. We're
We're going to
fine.
keep it
We're
up
fine.
here.
Like, that's our favorite phrase. It's fine. It's fine. Or
It's
well, at
fine.
least,
Yeah. Oh my
you
gosh.
know.
Truth telling.
Yes.
Love it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So, Jen, we have a few minutes left. And I know that you bring with you all kinds of resources. What do you think would be helpful for people if they are not feeling joy right now, and they are really not, they're like, yeah, I'm not enjoying whatever. I'm not enjoying work right now.
Mhm.
What's a great way to get started, to start to grapple with that and
Mhm.
start to step into a place where you're changing your relationship with work, whatever that means for you?
Yeah. I think there's a couple things. Number 1, you deserve joy.
Mm,
We deserve it. We live in a society that says joy is extra. Joy is just something you don't really need. It's just a nice to have. It's fine. I'm fine. And we kind of brownie nudge, you take a little bite of brownie and then you leave it in the pan, another bite of brownie, you leave it in the pan. You just kind of nudge into pain and discomfort and exhaustion. So start with the idea that you deserve joy. Full stop. You don't have to earn it. You deserve joy and you can have it. Secondly, joy is actually an incredible motivator in any workspace. So it actually turns into profit. So sometimes we have this idea that, well, we can get to joy when we've made this much money or we have this thing. Joy as a filter, as a way of doing business, actually creates the profits that you want. And then the way to get there is to start with back at that idea of purpose. All of this has to do with you leading yourself first. So you deserve joy. Joy is essential for a business, and you have to start with yourself. And that begins with really ruthless self honesty and radical self compassion. You have to have both of those together. You need ruthless self honesty and radical self compassion. And when you can put those together, you can look at yourself very honestly. And I'm like, am I actually doing what I want to be doing? Am I actually operating in the way I want to operate? Am I like, I'll get to that later? Are you procrastinating? Like, what about you is showing up in that space? And then with
mm,
radical self compassion to say, okay, it's all right that I do that sometimes. Like being a
mm,
human is who we are. Those are,
mhm,
you have to have both of them together. So
mm,
when you're looking at yourself honestly, you have to decide, what do I really want to do? What are my values? What is the story I'm telling myself? You have to do the inner self work first. and then get the skills that you see. Like, in order to get what I want, because you can't go anywhere until you know what you want, then what are the skills I need to get there? What kind of
Yeah.
experience do I want to create? So those are the ways that I would suggest people start.
Mhm. So starting with yourself instead
Mhm.
of looking at like, okay, the organization is this and this is the problem, and looking at, outside forces to
Mhm.
change your inner experience, we've got to start with how are we leading
Yeah.
ourselves? Oof.
You are CEO of your own desk. You are
Yeah.
CEO of you have to start with that. Even if you are like you're an associate in your very first job. If you're an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, you are absolutely the CEO of
Yeah.
your own desk. So
Yeah.
you've got to
Yeah.
start with you. You're the only one you
Yeah.
can control.
Oh, oh, it's so true. It's so true. So, we just have to show this because Erica Vidic says, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." We've got an underline, "Yes, ma'am" there, and then of course, Mike Kahn, who's still here,
Thanks,
he
Mike.
says, "You deserve joy." Mic drop moment from
Mhm.
Mike with the mic
Mhm.
drop. Love it.
I like it.
Okay, beautiful. It's a hard truth that
Yeah.
we always have to go back to ourselves. Okay. You're struggling with
Yeah.
something, like going back to your own self management, your own self. And that is the hardest work of leadership
Mhm.
before we uh, think about all of the other things. We've got to start there. So,
Even in that
uh,
toxic work environment, I had to start with myself and figure out what was I contributing to that. Like
mm,
I was in a place where I was genuinely being that was genuinely dysfunctional and
yeah,
that wasn't good. And I
yeah,
still had to start with me.
yeah,
Still start with me.
yeah. It's always more than just one thing. It's always more than just one thing, and
Mm,
it doesn't lessen the fact that that leader was a very unhealthy leader
totally.
and
Mhm.
having a really negative impact on your experience and other people's
100%.
experience there.
Yeah.
Um, but
But we're gonna
because
perpetuate that if we don't start
Mhm.
with ourselves.
Ooh, there it is. There it is. Because
Mm.
leaders are always becoming better leaders or becoming worse leaders. Honestly, that's it right there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jen, we have a QR code up on the screen right now with a link to your freebies page.
Great.
What's one of those freebies that you just want to tell us a little bit about to entice us to click that
Ooh.
link?
Okay, so
Because
if
you've
you are
got a lot of
interested
good ones.
so if you're interested in the Enneagram, there I have a guide called Why Do I Keep Doing This? And it's a short 6-page guide. It's not a full-on book. You don't have to read everything, but it's a quick guide into understanding what is the Enneagram, why does it matter, and the description of all 9 types. And it'll help you start that journey of understanding what is the Enneagram and my personality and how can I start to use that. I think that's probably the best one from this particular conversation that would be the most helpful for people. Also, my website is under
Beautiful.
construction, so I'm also like, "What is on that page?" It has to have that because it's always first. So, just know that too, you know,
Okay,
as
well,
we're
you've
vulnerable in
all
sharing the things.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, we're always working on something. It's so true. So, uh Jen, you've all just met Jen. I would love for you to check out all of her stuff. Go grab a freebie, but also in particular, Jen does a really incredible job of leading through her social media. So, Jen's Instagram is a I'm always grabbing so many good nuggets of wisdom from that, plus fun little like cat delights, and you're hilarious. I don't know, there's a
It's
blow
funny.
up unicorn
Yes, I do have
that
a blow up
comes out
unicorn.
every once in a while, which is just amazing.
It's a costume where inside the unicorn, just so you know, I don't have a separate blow up unicorn. I become the unicorn,
You
just so you're
become
aware
the
of what it is. It's a
unicorn.
costume.
Amazing. So
It's so
beautiful.
great.
Okay, Jen, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything that you give to all of us through the way in which you show up and serve. We all benefit and become better leaders, more joy filled leaders who are creating different results because of that. And so
Mm.
grateful for you. And
I'm grateful for you and
thanks.
all the permission that you have told me to have over the years. I appreciate it a lot.
Ah, okay. That reminds me, before you go, We need to hear one thing that you are going to give yourself permission to do next. The next permission slip you are going to write for yourself.
What is the next one? I think the next permission slip is after my therapy appointment today. I feel like I have things to do, but I am going to go choose to work out and then show up to my evening event, not necessarily put all together. I think that's what I'm going to
Yes.
do. Yeah.
Yes. Way to give yourself permission
I like it.
to not have your
Permission
face on.
today. There needs to be a theme song. There needs to be a
Well,
song for the permission slip, like a
how
jingle.
about this?
I'll take it. Are we going to dance?
And we end by dancing. Jen, thank you for coming here. Thank you for coming. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next week.